Overnight, our brooding billionaire has become a generous gentleman. But what's responsible for this metamorphosis? Or should I say, who? Has a French fairy touched Chuck with her magic wand? Or does simply being with an angel make you want to grow wings too? Okay, welcome back to another episode of Three Gossip Girls, a Gossip Girl podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Michelle.
Tonight we watch Season 4, Episode 4, Touch of Eva, or Beleva as we call her. Original air date October 4th, 2010. Written by Layla Gerstein, directed by Andrew McCarthy. Another one by him. Summary. Nate suspects that Juliet is keeping a big secret from him and decides to confront her. Blair schemes to undermine Chuck's newfound happiness. Dan finds himself torn between his feelings for Serena and for Vanessa. I mean, Michelle and I are just shaking our heads. It's just too much to deal with this episode for me.
I think if we were together, because we are separate tonight, we both would have been screaming.
Yes. I was so infuriated the entire episode, and I know I'm not alone because most of our fellow patrons in the Discord chat were just infuriated. There's so many frustrating parts to this episode, and pretty much the summary, the Juliet stuff is frustrating, but pretty much on the low level at this point. But the Blair and Chuck thing and the Serena, Dan, Vanessa triangle, I mean, I was heated.
Yeah, I found that triangle to be more frustrating than all the other storylines.
Yes, agreed. Blair is really pushing my limits lately.
Yeah.
You guys already know this, but before we jump into our episode, I just wanted to inform everyone on what I am sipping on tonight because, as we said, Michelle and I are separated due to inclement weather. It's just snowing a bunch. I mean, you guys know around the world it's snowing, so tonight we felt it was best to just do it separate. We're praying that everything goes smoothly, but what I am drinking it's called Belvior, which I felt like it was French, and it says Fruit Farms Organic Elderflower and Rose Lemonade. Really delicious, and I felt like the elderflower for fleur, I titled it Happily Ever After.
Perfect. And I said I was so sad that I couldn't drink that with you.
Yes, but
tonight.
Not to worry. Next Thursday, I will bring it to you just so you can have it because it's delicious. It's a very small little bottle. It's glass.
It's very cute.
It's really cute.
Very cute.
Really pretty. I will take a picture of it and post it on our Instagram. But so I just wanted to refresh everyone's memory on my 3 gossip words for last week. Philanthropy, pact, flaky. Now, Michelle, your predictions were fucking solid. So good. Really, really good.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the philanthropy thing, wasn't 100% accurate, but the pact of, the girls not wanting to see their exes and then the flakiness with Juliet, I mean, it was picture perfect. You did an excellent job.
Thank you so much, but you gave great words, so
I'm so glad. So I felt like I needed to guide my notes scene by scene in this episode because as it progresses and we kind of involve more people, and I felt like it was just kind of a snowball episode. So my notes are pretty much scene by scene. So we start out the episode with this montage of Fleur/Eva and Chuck and their blossoming, gorgeous romance in the park with all these presents, and we see Chuck donating money to multiple charities, and at one point he's even gifting Eva a Cartier watch. Loads of money there.
He's just making it rain everywhere. It's just like rain here, rain there, money, charity, Cartier, this, and it was happening so fast where I was like, what is actually happening? And we're getting news clippings of it happening.
So he's been doing a lot.
It was just a lot.
She's been rubbing off in a good way on him, and he is not shy to gift her with these very extravagant gifts. So this Cartier watch, which, apparently was more expensive than anything he's ever bought Blair, so she's already on that. She has dove into reading all of the articles that we just mentioned about Chuck and Eva, and she claims she's keeping tabs on him because she's worried Eva has an agenda. Oh, you're worried about him? What a crock of shit. What a crock of shit. I can't.
She needs to have the ownership. She needs to have that control.
She needs to control him, and he is way beyond her control right now, and she can't let it go. And it's really hard to watch, and as we talk about this episode, I have many choice words. So Serena then goes in to try and calm her friend down, talking her off the ledge. She changes the subject to Dan and Nate being on Gossip Girl and their prospective relationships, and she's obsessing over that. So Blair and Serena decide to make a pact that they're not going to meddle in their ex's new romances. The fact that Serena is I don't get it. Why? I know I said I'm a broken record, like literally since episode 1 of season 4. I do not understand why we're still doing this. She's clearly so just nonchalant about everything when it comes to Dan and Nate, and now they're both in relationships, and she's just like, well, maybe for now they are. No, like, do you live in this bubble, Serena, where everyone just the world revolves around you?
I also feel that it's just, again, and we've talked about this too since the season has started, but she's back in the world and there's no other guy to distract. So it's like, oh, let's just go back to what I know. It's almost like getting stuck in, what'd you call it? It wasn't a rut, but kind of a rut.
Just
like you're getting stuck
like a familiarity.
In the
like you know what to expect from these two guys. They clearly loved her. I feel like, and I maybe I'm like misstepping here, but I feel like they loved her way more than she loved them.
Yes.
And they are just still just pining over her because she's that forbidden fruit. She's the one that got away for both of them. And so she just like, I feel like she subconsciously uses that to her advantage, and it really pisses me off. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, Sag team here.
Right? I know. It's kind of her MO, though. This is what she does.
It really is, yeah. So, speaking of Dan, over at the loft, Vanessa is doing her best. She's trying her best to comfort Dan because of the whole Milo situation, and he's clearly taking it really hard and is super depressed, but he won't admit it. He won't own up to it, which I get. He doesn't want to reopen the wounds. But she tells him that she needs reinforcements, so she invites Lily and Rufus over for breakfast to help Dan out of his funk. And so Lily and Rufus arrive, and they're eating pancakes. They're trying to have this talk about feelings intervention with the loss of Milo, and Dan just keeps insisting, I'm fine. And then what gets me, he says it's a waste of a summer and nothing more. Are you kidding me? That was a baby you thought was yours.
Well, I think, again, that was just him trying to protect himself of letting those feelings in. Yeah. Yeah,
so he rejects all of their efforts to try and help him. He decides he's going to leave to see and hang out with Nate, or so he says.
Right.
Over at the Empire, Chuck and Eva are chatting with his employee named Ivan, who we've never seen before, and he makes this one appearance.
Okay, I was like, did I miss something? Because I don't remember you.
I'm pretty sure this is his first and only appearance on the show. And then Juliet comes running in, and she's like, I'm so confused by her, like, persona of this. Like, oh, now I'm this snooty girl, and she runs in, like, I spilled my latte. Like, she just seems so, like, I can't explain it. Just
flaky?
Flaky, yeah. And she apologizes to Nate for being late to breakfast. She claims her phone got latte spilled on it, so it died. And at that moment, Chuck tells the two of them about his charity gala that night and how he's planning on donating $5 million to an organization on which he hasn't decided on yet. And then he says, I never really knew how screwed up the world is, and now he wants to give back. Oh, now you really don't know how messed up the world is? It's like, what a sheltered little rich kid life.
Yeah.
And so Nate's like uber confused by Chuck's actions, but he also thinks it's great that Chuck is changing. So they go off into the kitchen, and the two girls have this like brief conversation where I feel like Juliet is this like noopsy housewife, like with her tea and trying to keep up with like Eva saying that, oh, I never knew Chuck, but I heard bad things and you're the one who changed him. And she's just like, you know, she's digging. She's getting herself involved. Again, we still don't know why, but she is.
Well, why not?
Right. And I feel like she's definitely not the Juliet we met 3 episodes ago. She just seems like this completely different person now.
I know. I kind of wish we kept going back to her in the room, like wearing a fake tag and seeing it made more. That was more interesting. And now I'm like, wait, I almost forgot that you do have ulterior motives and you're not just like out for it and Serena.
Right. And she plays up this, as I said, like this like noopsy housewife, like, oh, Nate, where you have money, I could do this, I could do that. I can, you know, fit in pretty much anywhere in this world. And so she's been flaky. And so in the kitchen, Nate is like gushing over Chuck's newfound niceness. And Chuck admits that Eva accepts him and his past, and then Nate confides in Chuck stating that Juliet is, as we said, a bit flaky, and he feels like she's up to something. And then Chuck thinks it's because the two of them are not exclusive, and that monogamy would probably change some things, and she might be dating someone else or maybe multiple people, but Nate's not really too sure on that, however.
Right.
So at the moment, Juliet says she has to go leave to help her neighbor who's locked out, but Nate's confused but goes along with it and then remembers like, oh, didn't her phone die? So how would she know that?
Yeah, she gets up suddenly and it's like, wait.
Yeah, she runs out.
What?
So over at the Waldorfs, Serena sees a live stream on Gossip Girl of Blair at Cartier. And so
who's filming this?
Who is? Exactly. Who is filming this?
Who is?
So when she calls Blair to tell her she's on to her, Blair claims she's getting her watch fixed, sure. And she's mad that Serena's even on Gossip Girl in the first place because she's breaking their pact. So then Blair sees Eva at Cartier and she's returning the watch that Chuck got her and is getting cash for it instead. So of course Blair takes out her phone and records it for some proof. So when Serena hangs up with Blair, Dan shows up at the Waldorfs to see if Serena wants to walk and talk with him. So
yeah, because he says, I was going for a walk and I ended up here.
You're in
Brooklyn.
I love when they say that on shows. Like, I was walking, I just ended up here. Like, you don't live close.
And also, you went there for a reason. I know you were heading to Nate's.
Exactly. You went there for a reason. So during their walk, he mentions how his family and Vanessa, they're like on his case about Milo, about showering and like cleanliness and trying to get these feelings out of him. And he just wants his life to go back to normal. He just want to spend the day having a sad, fun day and like call it that. That's not how life works,
I
really.
had so many issues with this, especially. It's like, because all Vanessa wants to do is be there and be the good girlfriend because, you know, he told her, it's you. I want you. You're it. Let's move in. I want this to happen. So she's making breakfast for him. She wants him to talk about his feelings. She wants him to take a freaking shower and change his shirt. And he's like, oh, get off my back, Mom.
Right? Get off my case, Mom.
Up.
He's just
and like,
too
listen.
much.
Yeah, and I totally get that you're upset about Milo. That's one thing, but there's no reason to just be disrespectful to your girlfriend, and that's what he's doing.
Yes, he is. He doesn't want to deal with it. So over at the Empire, Blair goes to see Chuck to rat on Eva. I can't stand her. He's on to her like white on rice. He's like, Blair, what do you want? You're not here for a good reason. I know you. And they start to talk about Eva, who then emerges from the bedroom. And Blair starts to make it very obvious that she knows that Eva doesn't have the watch, and she asks to see it. So then she shows Chuck the video of Eva selling it for the cash, and Eva claims that she needed the money for a friend. And before anything else happens, Ivan steps in and he says it's for me because my family was about to lose their home. And she just felt so guilty having this extremely expensive elaborate gift on her wrist where it could help families in need. And so Chuck she's like, oh, please don't be mad. And Chuck's like, how could I be mad? Of course I understand. You are like the picture perfect angel that I knew you were. And so he gives her all the pamphlets of the charities that he was considering to donate to, and he makes her pick. So then Blair leaves, and she calls Serena to explain the Eva situation, how things are just not going the way she had hoped. And so she hears Dan in the background because they're hanging out, and decides that she could use the two of them to plot against Eva. And Serena and Dan are like more than willing to spend the day together to do this, of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So after they hang up, Blair goes to talk to Eva and then claims she's going to help her pick out the charity for Chuck because she's such a good friend to Chuck. All she does is care about Chuck. And so then poor Eva like believes Blair that she has Chuck's best interest at heart and she would love for her to help her. I'm like, oh, come on, naive Eva. No.
And also, wouldn't you be suspicious if your boyfriend's ex, like the love of his life, was so close?
Yeah, and I wanted like, to know things about you.
No,
I would be like, what are you up to? Why do you need to know these things? But
right.
She's just so pure at heart that she, I guess, doesn't see it or she doesn't want to believe it. So Blair asks Eva for her entire life story, which Eva is really willing to oblige her. And as they speak, she's texting Dan and Serena on the side to look things up. So while this is happening, Nate, back at the Empire, is investigating Juliet on Gossip Girl. Now, I'm like, why is Juliet so important she's on Gossip Girl? Who gives a shit about her?
Thing.
You know?
Right, I guess because she's dating Nate.
I guess so. So things are not adding up with her stories of the timing. She's telling him she's coming home at this time. She's doing homework. She's coming home from the train late at night. He's putting two and two together that what she's telling him doesn't add up, and he's onto her. So Chuck advises him to just come clean with Juliet so that she can explain herself, which he's like, the newfound Chuck, I would try and get back at her, but now I would just want to be honest. So Nate also tells Chuck that he better still have his old Chuck playbook because Eva and Blair are out together. And so, Nate knowing Blair, he's like, you might want to do something about this. And Chuck kind of says, well, I know it's Blair, but Eva is strong and she can handle her. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And again, if I was Chuck, I'd be like, Eva, don't hang out with Blair.
Right. I would have called Eva, texted Eva, like, you might want to just come back because I know Blair is not, she has no good intentions here. So Blair is finding out all the details on Eva's life, and she's sending them to Dan and Serena, as I said, who are using this opportunity very much in their favor to flirt with each other and get very comfortable on the couch. And so Eva explains that she was in nursing school, but that her grandfather died and he had a lot of debt, so she had to drop out and she moved to Prague to make some money. She also mentions she was a waitress and she lived in a not-so-good area. So she heard this gunshot from her apartment, and so she had to nurse Chuck back to health because she didn't know if the ambulance was ever going to show because it's not a good area and people get shot there all the time. So while she's explaining all of this, Dan finds out information on Eva's old neighborhood. And this is when things get even more steamy between Sag because he admits that Vanessa doesn't know he's there and he might not be over Serena. He just flat out says it. Just says it.
And she's sitting so close to him where you could tell she's like,
oh my God.
Oh, like, I'm into that. That's exactly what I wanted to hear.
Exactly what I wanted to hear. Because she knows. She asks him flat out, oh, where does Vanessa think you are? Why are you lying to her?
Right.
Obviously, for Serena. So at the Empire, Juliet shows up to see Nate, and she apologizes for running out on him earlier that morning, and she can tell something's up with him, and so he flat out asks her if she's seeing someone else. And so she promises that she isn't, and she was just visiting a friend. And then at that moment, Vanessa shows up looking for Dan, and yikes, because, Nate says he's not a very good liar. How is he going to lie to Vanessa?
Poor Nate.
Back at the Waldorfs, Blair arrives home defeated. She's venting to Dan and Serena on this Saint Eva. However, it's then revealed that Dan figured out Eva was a prostitute. He looked up.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. So, and Blair is like, her eyes light up. She's so happy. She dismisses Dan. She wants Serena to keep the pact. And Serena tells Blair, look, you should mention this to Chuck, but do it in private and not go the typical Blair and call out Eva in front of Chuck's whole family and event. Which I'm like, good for you,
don't
Serena.
Embarrass him. Yeah, don't bring it up in public.
Right, she's keeping her friend in check, which I appreciate, but then Blair asks Serena if she's chosen. And she claims she has. I'm like, how do you choose when Dan's still in a relationship?
And also, no, you did not choose. I honestly think this was just a convenient conversation and you felt something on the couch while talking. Like, I don't.
It was
you did
all
not
convenience.
Choose. You guys did not have that choice conversation. Like, he is, like you said, in a relationship.
I mean, granted, he's not being a good boyfriend at this moment.
No,
but
awful.
He still is in this. And I guess she's thinking maybe he's going to break it off with Vanessa. Yet he hasn't yet. So the fact that she thinks she's chosen just gets me. I don't get it.
Well, because she, her head's in the clouds and it's Serena. It's such a Serena thing to do.
Exactly. So Dan arrives back to the loft after getting kicked out of the Waldorfs to find Rufus still there. And Dan admits that he didn't end up hanging out with Nate. He went to see Serena. And Rufus warns him not to lie to the woman he's living with, which I'm like, yes, Daddy, give it to him.
Thank you, Rufus.
Like, come on, your son should know better. And so Dan admits that over the summer, every decision he was making was for Milo, and he wonders if maybe he made the wrong decision because before all this was going to happen, he was going to tell Serena he still loved her and he wanted to get back with her. And Rufus is like not happy to hear this. He's like, look, do what you have to do with Vanessa, figure that out first, and then maybe go on to the next step. So then Nate calls Dan to tell him that Vanessa's visited. And he's like, I'm not a good liar. I didn't know what to say. You kind of need to give me a heads up first. Like trying to be a good friend to him. Yeah. And so he wants to know what Dan's been up to that day. And so then Dan has to admit that he was with Serena. And they kind of have this moment where like, oh, come on, man, if you're really still into her. And then Dan's like, I don't know if I am. It's just why the same conversation we always have. And he was telling Nate that they were investigating Eva and that he can't really say anything, but then Nate gets it out of him that Eva is a prostitute. And so Dan makes him swear to tell Chuck, who has just arrived
not
home.
to tell Chuck.
I'm sorry, not to tell Chuck.
Not to tell Chuck.
And
Which is like, dude.
Yeah, so Chuck arrives home at that moment. But of course we know Nate, he can't keep it from his friend, knowing Blair could use this at any minute. So I'm like, okay, good, Nate. You knew Blair was on to him, and let's not embarrass Chuck. And so then Chuck plays it up like he already knows that Eva is a prostitute. But then when Nate walks away, the camera pans to him, and you can kind of guess, like, oh, I don't know if he actually did know that, but now he does.
Right. No, I don't think he did.
No. So then Juliet takes Vanessa out for some cookies and coffee, and she admits to Vanessa that Dan was in fact not at the Empire. And so the two figure out together that he must be with Serena because she's an escape for him. Vanessa makes him feel, his parents make him feel, and Serena's the only one who is like on his level with kind of just escaping feelings, and she knows that that's where he went. So then Juliet convinces Vanessa to confront Serena herself. Don't confront Dan, confront Serena. Okay. So I guess...
Yeah, no, that... And also when this conversation was happening, Juliet's like, I don't mean to pry.
Oh, no, you don't.
It's like, girl, that is everything. This is the whole point of you being here.
Right.
Is to pry.
Yeah. So at the loft, Rufus heads home, but reminds Dan that he needs to talk to Vanessa. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to stay in tonight. I'm going to talk to Vanessa tomorrow. And at that moment, Serena calls him to invite him to go with her to Chuck's event. I mean, like playing with fire. Playing with fire.
this annoyed me so much. And he's like, yeah, no, that's a good idea. I'll be your date.
Yeah.
Hello?
And he has
Oh
no
my
idea
God.
Vanessa's going to be there. So,
But also, like, you're going to an event with the ex-girlfriend who broke you up with your current girlfriend already. And you're
Right.
with that girl. And you're choosing to go.
I know, it's
Oh my God, I was screaming.
it's so frustrating and just
Yeah.
it's sad. It's sickening like that they both feel, I mean, I get it, maybe you feel this connection, pull towards each other, but it's just not right. They're not going about it right. We have a quick scene that Chuck confronts Eva about what he knows. So at the gala, Juliet and Vanessa and Nate all decide to go together. And it's so funny, this part I wrote in my notes where, like, when Cher and Ty go to the Valley party and Cher's like, let's get out of location before we pick a place to, like, sit. That's how I felt like Juliet was. Like, she was Cher. She's like, okay, Vanessa, let's do X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Let's make our rounds.
Yeah, like, let's make our rounds, like, scope out the area. Or, like, Regina George. I just felt like this vibe, Regina George from her. So Vanessa goes to look for Serena. Juliet gives Nate her coat to check, but when she walks away, he hears a text message go off and he ends up looking at her phone, and it's a text from Ben saying he needs to see her. So meanwhile, Serena and Blair arrive and Lily greets them at the event, and she has this manila envelope that has all of Chuck's effects from the Paris police. And so Serena—
Why would you bring this to an event? Why would you bring this to an event?
She could see
Sorry
him,
to scream.
She could see him at any time. She could see him at any time.
Oh my God. This frustrated me so much too. Like, why would you bring important information to an event?
Right. And so Serena tells her, oh, go leave it with Ivan, his valet. He'll make sure Chuck gets it. So then Blair goes to find Chuck immediately so she can spill the tea. And she sees Eva and Chuck arrive together, and she pulls him aside and she's like, look, I need to tell you something. And Chuck is like, Blair, enough with the games. I already know what you're going to tell me. And he just gives it straight to her, which I was like, thank goodness. And he knew she was going to try to manipulate the situation. And then she acts like, oh, no, I wasn't. I was coming to tell you in private. Like, that was her idea when it was really fucking Serena's idea. Like, no, you were there to blatantly call out this girl to Chuck. Whether you did it in private or not, you're still doing it. And you were excited to. And you couldn't wait to go and manipulate that situation. And then she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And, like, she acts like she's actually sorry. I'm like, you're not, though. You're not. So frustrating.
No.
So Serena and Dan end up meeting, and they're so flirty again. It makes me want to vomit. It's so gross. He's like, oh, that dress isn't fair, which I forget someone made this comment. He said this to Vanessa. Remember when he said that to Vanessa?
Did he? Okay, that comment, I'm like, again, you're in a relationship. You're in a relationship.
I can't imagine my boyfriend saying that to someone else and me being like thinking that was okay.
Well, again, she didn't hear it, but
she didn't.
Not cool.
But Vanessa ends up overhearing Dan and Serena talking about how they haven't finished their big conversation that they had to talk about. And so Dan and Vanessa end up getting pulled aside, and he tells Vanessa, you know, Serena and I are just friends. And Vanessa's like, look, I'm not an idiot, honestly. And you know what, Dan? All summer, she didn't even contact you, and she didn't even know who she was going to choose when she came back. And at some point, you know, you just have to realize that, like, I was only here for you, and it's clear that you had mixed emotions. And so she's just at her breaking point, and she walks away.
Okay, so at this moment, I'm like, feels like a total Summer Roberts moment.
Yeah.
With a Seth Cohen. However, I don't think Padge is Seth in this situation.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, Summer went through all of this. She gave the moment of, like, you only want me when you want me, when it's convenient for you. But, like, okay, things worked out.
Right. No, I think this is far worse. Because
worse.
Dan is in a relationship with one and not with the other. You know, where Seth was kind of like toying, do I go to Anna? Do I do Summer? Like, not do, but you know, which one?
Right. Yeah.
No, this is far worse because he's already solidified twice now that he's in a relationship with Vanessa after claiming that he doesn't have feelings for Serena. It's just such a fucking lie. It's just such a lie.
And she moved in. She moved in.
That's a big step. And you want her there. So you say,
right?
But she's bothering you.
Want her there,
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put myself in Dan's shoes, but I just don't get it. I really don't. Back to Juliet and Nate. He admits to her that he found the text from Ben, and she tells him Ben isn't her boyfriend, but then he walks away anyway and doesn't want to hear her out. So Blair and Serena are discussing how both of their plans kind of failed. Pretty much. She's like, well, Serena says Dan's over there talking to Vanessa and Chuck didn't care about Eva's past. So like their plans are like all now screwed up. And Serena points out to Blair, well, you should be happy since you were just looking out for him. You don't have any intentions. You don't love him, right? You don't want to be with him, right? And she goes, well, no, how could I want to be with him after what he did? She keeps saying this. This is her reasoning that she doesn't love him because how could she forgive him after what he did with Jenny?
Right.
When if she just were to own up to her feelings, like, no, I'm just fucking jealous. I'm just so hurt and jealous by this, then maybe we get somewhere, but this is Blair. So she ends up sneaking up and eavesdropping on Chuck and Ava's conversation where they both kind of apologize to each other and how they accept each other. And so this makes Blair upset, of course, and it makes her even more upset to hear Chuck go on stage to announce his new philanthropic plan, the Ava Cupo Foundation, which Blair is like, oh, like gut-wrenching, like just shot to the chest. You probably got the wind knocked out of you. Like, that probably hurts. I bet it does. So in a jealous rage, Blair decides to go to Ivan, and she asks for Chuck's passport from the envelope, and we don't really see what happens after that. So after Chuck's speech, Blair goes up to Chuck and takes him aside again and says, look, Eva's not the girl you thought she was. She knew who you were before she met you. She has your passport. I found it because I was snooping. And he's like, come on, Blair. And she convinces him enough where he does suspect maybe something's happened. So he goes through Eva's suitcase and unfortunately finds the planted passport. And Eva comes in and she's so confused, and Blair leaves with a smile on her face. And poor Eva, she like ends up apologizing because she knows that she cannot get a word in edgewise with him because he's already believed Blair. And what's the point of her even trying to explain herself when he's not going to believe her?
And I also think by now she's realizing and she even says it, like, I know I will never be Blair. You will always have a connection with Blair. I feel it when I'm in the room with you two. This is just a long road ahead for me that's just going to end up by myself,
right?
Essentially.
And she knows that. And so while that's happening, we have a quick scene between Nate and Serena. He tells her he thinks that him and Juliet broke up, and she offers to be there for him because she doesn't want to see him hurt, but he's like not really about it. I don't even know why we had to have this scene, to be honest. But then Dan sees them talking, and so then Dan comes over and he's like, oh, I saw you talking to Nate, and confronts her about the feelings thing again. Like, who were you going to choose when you came home? And she replies that she didn't know. Because she didn't. And so just like Vanessa says, well, I only chose you, Dan says, well, some people don't have to choose. And he leaves. I'm like, please. I don't feel anything. I don't feel any pity for you here.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No. So Lily goes to rave to Chuck on how great his event was, and she asks him if he got his personal effects from Paris, including his passport. And at that moment, he realizes, oh shit, Eva was telling the truth. He runs upstairs to her, trying to make it right, saying that he knows now never to believe Blair, which, like, you should have already knew that. But he tells Eva they could move away anywhere, to go away from Blair. He just wants to leave to get away from Blair. And Eva's like, I can't. I know you are still pulled to her. You have this magnetic connection. I can never, stand in the way of it. And he does this Peyton Sawyer thing, like, oh, don't leave. Everyone leaves. But she does anyway, unfortunately. And so now Chuck is like completely defeated. So downstairs, Juliet explains to Nate that Ben is her troubled brother. And he agrees to give her a second chance because, as we know, the Archies are no saints. And he's got a lot of skeletons in his closet. And they decide to head to Juliet's apartment. At the loft, right, her apartment. At the loft, Dan arrives home to find Vanessa still there, but she's ready to move out, packing up her stuff. And he admits to her that losing Milo broke his heart, which, again, we know this. He just couldn't admit it. However, he wants her to stay. He says Serena is Serena. Okay. It still doesn't make me feel any better about that. Serena is Serena.
Right, and he pretty much says, I choose you.
I choose you.
Like, no. It's because Serena didn't choose you.
I choose you
is the reason why you chose her.
This is the third time. And she's
Girl.
like, okay. Open arms. And he says, I love you. No regrets. And she's like, yeah, okay.
No regrets.
Like that.
But essentially, yes, no regrets.
But no regrets. Like, oh my God, I can't with them.
I know.
Like, at this point, I was feeling bad for Vanessa, but now I'm at my point where I'm like, you know what, Vanessa, now you did it to yourself because you keep forgiving him. He barely even explains or apologizes to her. He's like, I lost Milo. And she's like, yeah, me too. I'm sad about it. But, okay, so that makes you flirt with your ex-girlfriend? I don't know.
Have some respect from self-love and respect.
Yes.
This is bad.
Yes.
It's really bad.
So over at the Waldorfs, Blair and Serena are talking about their night, and Serena comes up with the conclusion that she needs to find someone who is both Nate and Dan combined, because how could she pick between the two? If she's with Nate, she'll be thinking about Dan. If she's with Dan, she'll be thinking about Nate, and she just needs to find a good balance in between the two. I'm like, really? How about just be single? They'll come to you. Just be single. Dorota comes up and tells Blair that Chuck is there to see her. So I don't know what the hell Blair was thinking going on in her mind. Like, oh, he broke up with Eva. She's gone. Maybe he's going to take me back. I don't know what she was thinking.
Right? I didn't know either. And she was like really, you could see her face like, oh,
yeah,
I won. I think it was I won.
Yeah. And so she comes down the stairs slowly and Chuck looks her in the eye and he's like, I know what you did. I can never forgive you. And he goes off on this bitch. And he just doesn't understand why she did it. So he flat out asks her, look, is this because you still love me? And she says, no, I can never forgive you for what you did. Yet again, this is her excuse. And so he goes, okay, so then you were really just trying to hurt me. And he declares war on her with no limits and leaves. So to wrap up the episode, Juliet and Nate arrive at her building, or so we think it's her building. The doorman says to her that he has a package. She sends Nate to go to the elevator. The doorman hands her a key as she's slipping him back some money and says the owners will be back tomorrow. So I guess, like, pack up your shit because you got to get out.
You got to get out.
Yeah. Chuck heads back to the Empire. Ivan's there and tells him he's sorry that Eva left. But then Chuck fires him right there on the spot and closes the door. Our last scene, which I don't even care about. It's hard for me to sympathize with her. Blair comes back into Serena's bedroom and she's got a ball, tears welled up in her eyes, and she just lays into Serena's arms and she's crying over the fact that Chuck is mad and declared war on her. And I'm like, honestly, though, what did you think was going to happen? I don't understand.
I don't get it. What did you think was going to happen,
What
Blair?
did you think was
honestly,
the outcome?
What were we trying to achieve here? What were you going? I don't know. I'm like flabbergasted,
Same.
but also not.
Right.
But also like, I can't believe we're doing this.
Exactly. Same. And so that is the end of our summary. I can't wait to hear what Steph and Marley from Cutscenes and Cupcakes podcast have to say about this episode. We were super excited to have them on. When we come back from break, we're going to open up our questions segment with them. And stay tuned.
Hello, I'm Marley, 1/3 of the Cutscenes and Cupcakes podcast. My co-hosts are Steph and Lindsay. Together, we review video games and rate them with desserts. Sometimes it's cupcakes, sometimes it's tacos. Whatever we recently ate, really. We are part of Soul and Droids Media, a network comprised of pop culture, geek culture, gaming, and movie podcasts. We also stream regularly on Twitch. Be sure to subscribe to us at Cutscenes Pod. Now, with Season 4 underway, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else you listen to your podcasts. We also have video versions of our episodes available on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as we like to say, grab a friend, eat some cupcakes, and play some video games. Bye!
All right, welcome back from break. We are joined now with Steph and Marley from Cutscenes and Cupcakes podcast. Yay!
Hello!
This is so exciting because you both are actually our first podcasters as guests for season 4. So we are so excited. I'm sure Michelle is excited because we are in the presence of some cat lovers, Michelle. I don't know if you knew that already.
I did not know that. Oh my goodness. I locked my cats out of this room or else I would be showing them off right now.
Yeah.
Oh, mine is currently just sitting right in front of me on the other side of my desk. He's just staring at me.
They usually join us for our recordings.
Yeah, same. Michelle's cats are always with us for recording. So sometimes
The other one is right there.
Oh, so cute. You guys can't see that, but so we just wanted to thank you both so much for joining us. I wanted to know why you decided to choose this episode out of all the episodes we've given you to choose from. Not that there were so many, but...
I mean, the biggest thing was scheduling. Steph, do you want to tell them why?
Yes, so I'm pregnant.
Oh, congrats.
So, yeah, I didn't want to schedule a later one and then have to cancel.
Well, that's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. In fact, it made me laugh. I don't know if we're allowed to, but so we watched a couple of the earlier episodes where Chuck is in France.
Yes. Beginning
And
of the season.
And he's Henry.
Yes.
And that's what we're naming our little boy.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I'm like,
right.
hey, look at that.
that's
Comes
so
full circle.
sweet.
So cute.
It really did come full circle. So now, how many times have you guys watched Gossip Girl in completion, do you think?
At least 2 or 3 times for sure.
That's
I'd
a lot
say-
of times.
I'd say 3 or
Yeah.
4 times.
Now, did
for
you
me.
watch it live when it was on air, or you?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Same. So did I. Do you have a favorite character?
I would have to say Blair. Blair has been one of my favorites, and I don't want to give any spoils, but she does get better.
She does. I've told Michelle she does get better.
She does.
And Marley is most like Blair for sure. I've always liked Chuck, but the last time I watched it, he's very problematic.
Yeah. Yeah.
My friend always calls him a vampire, and I think that's kind of an accurate description.
We have referred to
do
him
too.
as a vampire multiple times on this podcast.
It's true.
He could have played
He
Edward
should have been
Cullen.
in Twilight.
He could have
He
been,
should.
right?
Oh my goodness.
Do either of you have a least favorite character?
Oh, Jenny. I really don't like Jenny at all.
She's my favorite right now.
Is she?
But, we're looking at it, Michelle's looking at it in a completely different view because we're in our 30s and we're watching these teenagers, and she's the most relatable at this point on the show.
She kind of, yeah, I can see that.
But for OG watchers like myself, Jenny was definitely a hard character to like back then. So
Yeah. I don't know. I think Vanessa might be one of my least favorite. She's just kind of boring. I don't know. And yes, everybody in the show is super whiny and bratty, but she also and she's not rich, yet she complains a lot. I don't know. I just feel I don't know. Sometimes she can be just as petty as the rest of them.
yeah, we've definitely
For sure.
seen a little bit of that so far. What did you guys overall think of this episode?
So my first thoughts are, oh shoot, what's her name? Nate's girlfriend.
Juliet.
Nate's Juliet.
Girlfriend. She looks like she's 30 years old. Like, she does not look like a college freshman. She's gorgeous. But I'm like, damn, who would think that this girl is in college?
Yeah. And she also dresses very sophisticated compared to the others, just a little bit different.
But she's a bitch. Am I allowed to say that?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you can.
We have potty mouths here.
Yeah, she's kind of the worst.
I definitely have to say, like, when we were looking at the different episodes that you guys, like, gave us options for to join, I was kind of looking at all of what happens in season 4, and I'm like, this is not a great season. It's not my favorite. Like, yeah, I like the college stuff. Like, I think it's fun that they're out of high school. They're, you know, kind of getting into that college scene, because coming up, there's some good episodes, I feel like, in their college days. But right now, like, I don't know. And even the whole thing with, like, I'm sorry, but Eva and Chuck's story is, I don't know. I feel like it's just kind of meh. And I wasn't really excited about that either. I don't care for Eva.
Wow.
But
I know.
Chuck is with Eva is so cute.
Yes.
Okay, he is, but at the same time, I'm sorry, but I'm full on chair here, okay, you guys? Chuck and Blair for life.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
It makes a
like,
lot of
to
sense.
me, who's like new, like I have no, connection or want for the show. So I'm like, Eva, we love you, Flor. We call her Flor.
Yes.
Yeah. She's so cute and angelic, and even though I know it's not forever, and like I said, like I don't know anything that happens in this show except I'm pretty sure Chuck and Blair end up together. I'm not looking at your faces to give anything away, but that's my predictions that I always make. So I understand, like, the chair fans are strong with this show.
So we have some questions from our listeners. We'll start with Mike at Del_Vasto asks, Michelle, do you think we'll see Flor/Eva again?
I don't. I think she's on the island.
Do you want me to confirm? She is on the island, and I'm so sad. I know you guys didn't like her.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it.
I didn't mind her.
She was just a stepping stone.
She was. I mean, we needed her to get Chuck somewhere, and I hope for his sake he, figures out his path there. I won't say too much for Michelle, but
I mean, at the end, he said he's not going. Like, he's just going to be bad Chuck Bass now. So
right.
He fires Ivan and just closes the door in his face.
What a dick move.
That's so rude.
Yeah.
Like, what did Ivan do?
It's so funny. We have a Discord, when we watch the episode with our patrons, we have a Discord chat. And so I've watched this episode now 3 times, and every single time I thought Blair took the passport and put it in Eva's bag. But then our patrons were like, no, we think Ivan planted the passport in Eva's bag.
Oh.
So that makes more sense to
Blair?
me.
Or just to be a problem?
Well, for Blair. Yeah.
Okay.
So that would make more sense to me of why he fired him. He was manipulated by Blair, and so
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that makes more sense. That's not how I took it the first couple of times, but when they said that, I'm like, okay, yeah, actually, I think that makes sense.
I thought it was that they had like that packet like at the party, and they said that, oh, this is the personal effects that the police found.
Yes.
And then Blair was like, ooh, a passport. Ooh, scheming mind. I'm going to figure out a way. I thought that's what it was.
Yes.
And
then
that's where
passed
they found
it on to
So
Ivan?
and then she passed.
Yeah,
oh,
so
okay.
I originally thought Blair took the passport out and she went into Eva's bag and put it there, but I think maybe Ivan took all of his effects and put it there. So
Gotcha.
either way,
Okay.
still shitty he fired him, but
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he said, I'm really going to miss her. And I think Chuck was like, well, I can't have anything that has to do with Eva in my life because I'm upset. So you need to go.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tish at Tish_Dominique124 asks, Michelle, what do you think it means that the doorman told Juliet that the owners will be back?
Well, I think it means that she's not supposed to be where she is.
Who do you think owns this apartment?
I have no idea. I am totally lost on this storyline.
Yeah.
I haven't. Juliet she is just in so many places at once, and I don't understand how she could be the key holder of this club last week, and then she's in this apartment building and she's paying off the guy. Like, she has many connections, and I don't understand how she's doing it.
Right, yeah.
I'm stumped. I'm actually stumped, and I'm annoyed that I'm stumped.
Yes.
Well, and how can she be like a Columbia? Are they at Columbia or NYU?
Columbia.
Yeah, Columbia.
Yeah, how can she be a Columbia student and also like go visit the guy in jail and be in charge of this and be in charge of this and have her hands in everything?
She wears too many hats.
Yeah, it's not like Columbia is some school for schlubs.
Right.
Exactly.
Right, yeah. So she's a little suspicious. Tish also wants to know, how do you think her brother Ben is connected to everything?
Yeah. I don't know.
I know. We asked you that last week. You still don't know.
I still don't know. Well, now we know I'm thinking her brother her brother can't be the guy. I was like, oh, it's the guy in jail, but it's like he's not texting from jail unless he has a phone hidden in the wall.
Right. It would make it difficult for him to text from jail.
He could have a hidden phone.
He
could.
According to Jensen and Holes from the Murder Squad, that's a big thing that happens in prison, actually.
They hide their phones.
Right.
Yeah, they get contraband phones and hide it. It happened in Orange is the New Black, and that's gospel truth.
Yeah.
It happened in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
So it could happen.
Right. So I'm going to go with that.
Okay. Tish wants to know, Steph and Marley, why did you start watching Gossip Girl?
Probably the hot guys in it.
Yeah. I'd probably say the fashion and like the setting, like taking place in New York.
Yeah,
that was so long ago because we started it in college.
Yeah,
so
and we're from Utah, so like New York City is like
glamorous.
Salt Lake City is not anything near to New York City.
Well, yeah, we're from New York, so trust us, that's like a very small facet of New York City.
I feel like you two are, Sarita and Blair. Is that not true?
I would hope our
nailed
relationship
it
is not as toxic as Serena and Blair's.
Oh, good Lord, yeah.
Definitely not. Tish also wants to know if you guys are more of a fan of Serenade or Darina, which we call them Sag, because Michelle calls Penn Badgley Padge Bentley, and she can't get his name right, so we call him Padge.
I love it.
It's true. I can't get his name right, so it's just Padge in my eyes. Padge Bentley.
I think Padge for sure, or Sag.
Okay, so you're not into Serena and Nate?
No, Nate is like too pretty to have a girlfriend, I feel like. Nate's just kind of in love with himself. And that's fine. He can be that
he's
person.
so pretty. He could be that person.
Yeah.
I probably agree about what you said about Nate. Though I don't know. I also just feel like, because I knew what was going to happen, obviously, but the whole time when like leading up to this, when Serena's like, Dan or Nate, who should I choose? I don't know. And it's like, don't pick any of them.
Right.
Go after somebody else. Like, I was just, don't do it.
Michelle and
then, of course, they chose for her.
Yes.
You know?
We had a lot of words about this because I felt like that was such a season 3 storyline. So why do we have to continue bringing this into season 4? Serena didn't think about either of them during her trip to Paris. So when she came back, she's like, oh, I guess I have to choose between the two. It's like, well, how about you don't have to choose and you just be single? And then Dan in this episode with like the flirting, and it's just, I'm like, no, why are we doing this again? Why are we doing this again?
Well, and it's so funny that when you're in a new college with lots of new people and you go straight back to your ex-boyfriends from high school. And I guess both Marley and I kind of did that freshman year with our ex-boyfriends from high school.
I was going to say, on the nose, Stephanie.
Yes. But it is silly. Like, come on, let's meet new people.
Right, yeah.
Have new experiences.
Is that your husband? Is your husband your high school sweetheart? Oh, well, so there you go.
No.
Crystal at Chrismall wants to mention, if Blair doesn't want to be with Chuck anymore, then why couldn't she just move on and let him be with Eva? Because it's Blair.
Maybe the same reason Serena can't choose different guys.
Yes. It's that, like, almost nostalgia of being with your ex. You just can't let it go. Especially them. They were so close to just being in high school seniors. So now they haven't really learned anything yet.
Well, and I also like to believe that she says she doesn't want to be with him, but she does.
Oh, she
because
totally
that's where her
does.
heart truly lies.
She totally does, but she keeps saying, how could I forgive you after what you did with Jenny? She repeats that over and over again. That's her excuse as to why she's not with Chuck. But she can't bear to see him be happy with someone else. So hence why she's sabotaging.
Has Chuck, with his uncle yet and Blair?
The hotel?
Done
yes. That was
sold Blair
3.
for the hotel.
Yeah, last season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you can come back from that, but apparently Blair is more forgiving than I am.
They were going to, and that's when he ended up sleeping with Jenny because he thought that Blair wasn't going to meet him at the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
So,
oh, yes, that's right.
Yep.
Good Lord.
Yeah, so much has happened with them already.
What a mess. It's just a hot mess express.
We did get an email from Jen who makes a good point about Blair in this episode. She says that Blair is so sad and hopeless because Eva left and Chuck is mad at her, but isn't that what she wanted?
Yeah.
No, that's what happens.
Because she's getting attention from him again.
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing, at the very end when he's like, this is war, Blair, on you. And she, I think she secretly is like, bring it on. Like, because they're games that they play with each other.
Yeah, they have such a hostile relationship that I guess that's foreplay for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I think that's totally
though.
what it is for them.
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
They deserve each other.
They sure do.
They do. They really do.
No one else deserves that, whatever that is to offer.
It's so true.
Right.
Will asks, what do you think will make Juliet trust Nate with the truth of Ben? In other words, how do you think she might convince Nate would fuck over Serena? I guess to Michelle. That would be to Michelle.
Her pussy.
He's a simple man.
Really, that's
He's a simple man.
Simple. And he even said, like, what was it, last episode, how it, usually it's not this hard that I have to chase, that usually, that's how she's just going to sleep with him.
Yeah.
Very
very
simple.
simple for Nate. Very simple.
Yeah.
Jess at Mrs. Boquist asks, would you return a gift from a significant other for cash? I mean, if it was a Cartier watch, I don't think I'd be returning that.
Oh, I would pay off some student loan
that's
debt.
true.
Is this like a current significant other or ex?
I guess we'll say an ex. Maybe we'll say an ex. Would you trade in a gift just for some cash from them?
Yeah, probably. I'm thinking it depends.
Yeah. I've had to sell a ex's wedding, like engagement ring.
Oh, wow. So you got a good chunk there.
Yeah. Gave me a little bit of coin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Angelina asks, any predicts, Michelle, on the War of Chuck?
Yeah. Well, I mean, here we go. I just feel like here we go. Didn't I say how I wanted just some time of Chuck being single and Blair being single and for growth moments to happen? But now I think it's just going to be a war and it's back and forth, and I'm not looking forward to it, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah.
Because here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Again. Until they're married.
Okay, Michelle. Jillian at Jillian Loves Beyonce says, what are Blair's redeeming qualities at this point? Because she just can't see any. And she says that her relationship with Serena doesn't count because she's still a shitty friend to her. It's hard for me to come up with one. Marley, what about you? Do you have a redeeming quality for Blair since you love Blair so much?
Yeah. No, I was trying to think of an answer for that.
It's hard.
I would say maybe the first thing that comes to mind, Blair, I mean, she's a natural born leader. I think she definitely also just wants to find her own path in this world. And so like even like I think it was the previous episode where she was with the Hamilton House girls and she like didn't want to tell Serena that she was with them. I mean, yeah, that's crappy, but it's also like, for me, I also kind of see it as like that was kind of her way to be like, you know what, I want to be able to do something on my own and like have this like chance to maybe branch out a little bit by myself. Like, of course, like I love that we're going, well, she didn't love that they were going to the same school at the beginning.
No, she didn't.
But to have like initially to have Hamilton House like on her own, I think she was kind of she was relishing in that, you know, just for her to be able to shine on her own because she knows how much Serena shines by herself, and she's like, well, I want to shine by myself. So I think that probably the biggest redeeming quality again is just that she's wanting to be a little bit more independent and be able to find that, even though she doesn't always do it the best way.
Yeah.
I still think that that's the path that she's trying to make, especially now in college.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I like that.
Yeah, me too. That's a good answer.
Vic asks Steph and Marley, if you could rate the main characters as desserts, what would they be?
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
I love this question.
Dan is just like a cookie. Like he's just kind of plain.
Like a Chips Ahoy?
But not bad. Like he's still good, but like just kind of there. Not the most exciting character. Old reliable. Now you go.
I would definitely say, let's see. I want to pick like a sugar cookie, and I want to say who would be the good sugar cookie. Do we want to say Serena? Is that kind of a sugar cookie? I don't know.
Yeah, kind of boring.
Vanilla.
Very vanilla.
Serena.
Very vanilla.
Yeah, because sugar cookies are very like I mean it's literally a sugar cookie and like some frosting. It's not really anything too fancy.
Or you can dress them up and they are fancy.
Yeah, that's true.
And like put like fancy,
yeah. So
do like
maybe
some
where
fancy
Serena,
decorations on top.
Where Serena can sometimes be a little shallow, she puts on nice clothes, and there you go. She's a pretty sugar cookie.
I think that works pretty perfect.
Yeah.
Blair is definitely a cupcake.
Yes.
I mean, even just the way she dresses is kind of cupcake-ish.
Yeah, she's got like those big poofy skirts and things.
Yeah.
That reminds me of, I don't know if you guys are into Taylor Swift at all. I am. But she has like this old song from like several albums ago where she talks about like she's wanting to crash a wedding.
Yes.
And she's like, oh yeah, and you're probably like she's kind of addressing the bride, and she's like, oh yeah, you're probably off in some room with all your wearing a gown shaped like a pastry.
What's that one called?
It's called Speak Now.
Speak Now. That's it. Yeah, I love that one.
Yes. That's what that just reminded me
I love that
of.
whole album. That was my favorite Taylor Swift album.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's see.
Chuck is Devil's Food Cake.
Yes.
Ooh.
Love it.
Should we say Nate is like a cinnamon roll where he's just like warm and yummy?
I can agree with that.
I think we could all eat a little cinnamon roll and be happy.
A little cinnamon roll, yes please.
Except after watching The Boys, he's such an asshole.
That's
in
what
it,
I've heard. People hate him.
It's tainted it.
Yeah, that is true. Well, okay. What about our Penn Badgley in the show You?
Yes.
Like, doesn't that like I'm sorry, but like watching these couple episodes and seeing Dan again, I'm like,
yes, I know.
I don't trust him after watching You.
Yeah.
He's got the murder eyes.
But he
does,
funny.
though. It's kind of the same character.
And he's kind of likable. Like, he's a likable villain in You know, to an extent. So, but I've heard that people, like, they just think Chase is such an asshole in The Boys. I haven't watched it, but I've heard that his character is pretty awful.
Yeah.
Watch it and find out.
I would like to, actually. It's on my list of shows to watch.
Yeah.
It's definitely rated R. So, I mean, so just be prepared for lots of violence and violent sex.
Oh. Interesting.
Yep. Okay.
See Chase in another light, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Even though he is still pretty in it.
Of course.
He just got
You can't take
blessed
the pretty out
with
of
a
him.
good face.
He's got a damn good face. Damn good face.
Yeah, he does.
What about
I want to know Vanessa.
okay, or
What-
Jenny too. None.
Vanessa is totally a pot brownie.
I can see
I
that.
can see that actually.
I feel like no explanation is needed.
No.
And what about little Jay?
Little Jay.
You pick, Steph.
Oh. Little Jay is just kind of like, what's the most emo dessert?
Ooh, yeah.
Like I want to say like chocolate covered like grasshoppers or ants. You know how they do that at like specialty stores?
Yeah.
Where they just kind of I don't know. And I guess I do feel bad. Little Jay, she had some hard shit
sure
going
did.
on, man.
I know, she's a lollipop because she's such like a little baby, I feel like, in the show. Like she just acts like such a little kid.
Like one of those like sugar lollipops that you had to like bite.
Yeah, like the giant like swirl ones.
Oh,
Yeah, that aren't good.
No, they're not good.
I don't think they're not good.
They're just super
but
sweet.
they're a thing. They are
Yeah.
there.
Vic, she also mentioned, which you both kind of already answered, but how do you feel about Eva? Now, I know Marley said she was just a stepping stone. Steph, you thought she was sweet, though.
She's
Yeah,
sweet.
she's sweet.
I can't really see her as anyone but Flor Delacour, though.
Right.
So I just expect her to start like singing her harpy song and
Right?
Cedric Diggory to show up.
Cedric. So good.
It's
Rest in
surprising that what's his real name?
Robert Pattinson, yeah.
Never showed up in Gossip
Right?
Girl.
He would have totally fit Gossip Girl.
He would blend in so well.
Him and Chuck as the vampires, they would,
Yes.
it would be so good.
Yes, he should have been like Chuck's cousin that comes in and they go to the burlesque together, and
I think that would work so
Yes.
perfectly.
they
We
should
need a
have talked to
fanfic.
Right?
us.
Fanfic. There you
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
Also, she wanted to know, since everyone hates Jenny and Vanessa, she is a newbie to the show. She wanted to know your opinions on Jenny and Vanessa, which we kind of already went into. So, there you go, Vic.
Vanessa is too like holier than thou,
Mm.
but she's kind of as bad as everyone else. But she's so
Yeah.
pretty.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is her name? Jessica
Yeah.
Soares? Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah. She definitely fits in with everyone. I mean, everyone's equally gorgeous on this show, and they definitely didn't skimp on Vanessa's character. So, yeah, she is.
I love how she's supposed to be like super poor, but she wears like designer clothes, just like bohemian
Right.
clothes.
It's like free
So
people.
Those are what, yeah, anthropology. That's
Yeah.
what normal people can afford all the
Yeah,
time.
right? Going into anthropology and get like an undershirt that's $75. You're like, okay, cool.
For reals.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm excited to see what you think, Michelle, in some later episodes coming up. 'Cause
Same.
There's some interesting ones with Vanessa.
Yeah, same.
She doesn't
Me
go
too.
away. She's
Oh,
not.
no.
She's not.
She
Like,
she
yeah.
sticks around.
Yeah.
There's a character arc with Hilary Duff that's a lot of fun. So just
Yes,
wait for the
that's
Hilary
the
Duff
one I'm
episode.
talking
Oh,
So
about.
that's the what that's season
we
3.
did it.
Is
Wait,
it?
it is?
Okay. We're like
Oh.
mentioning things. The threesome
Oh my
episode is so
god.
fun.
The threesome
Oh my
episode.
god, my eyes. Oh. I like how the threesome happens and then how can Vag still happen? Which by the way we call Vanessa and Kat Vag. That's their ship name. Because I realize we say that and then to other people will be like, what did you just say? But
How does Vag happen?
Like
I mean,
how-
it's a good
It
question.
works for them because nobody likes them as a couple. So we just stuck with Vag. But yeah, they developed this relationship after Olivia, Hilary Duff's character, is like, you guys, you're meant to be together. I'm like, wait, what? You guys were friends. You were friends, and that was it. But
I think everyone kind of wants to date their best friend and just see what would happen. That's why everyone makes like those like when we're 40 and not
the
married
pacts, yeah.
Yeah. But like if you really wanted to be together, wouldn't you be together before? I don't know. It's an interesting thing.
It is.
yeah.
That's a good poll. I could put
Yeah.
that poll out for next week. Like,
My best friend from high school is gay, so I don't think it will work out for us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Right.
Probably not.
No.
What was I going to say about, oh, yeah, back to the threesome thing real quick. I think like my favorite part that just makes it just so like cringy, even more so than it already is the part where I think it comes like after, or somebody, I don't even remember who says it, but someone's like, didn't you know you're not supposed to do with like the third person in the threesome? No one's supposed. It's supposed to be a stranger.
Yeah.
I think Nate says that.
Yeah, and so I was just, I don't know why, but like whenever like in other TV shows when like threesomes are mentioned and they like, there's like a group of like friends wanting to do that, and I'm like, no, the third person has to be a stranger.
Don't do it, guys. You're going to regret it. Yeah.
This is what Gossip Girl said.
Yeah, well.
Rules to live by,
yeah.
for sure.
And like, honestly, I guess it sort of worked out for them that the third person wasn't a random, but I really liked Olivia and Dan together.
I did too.
Mm-hmm,
yeah.
They're cute.
I don't prefer him and Vanessa together. I prefer them to be friends. And we've done this, like, this is the third time that they're kind of now getting back together. And I'm like, wait, why are we still doing this? I didn't realize we did this for so long. So,
yeah, it's old already.
Vic, her last question is, Michelle, do you think Serena will be single for a while?
No. I give it like one episode and some dude. She's going to end up hooking up with Ben. That's what's going to end up happening.
Conjugal
Somehow
visit.
Yeah, right?
Going to happen. Yeah. Somehow that's going to happen. She'll find a way. Yeah, no, I don't see that.
She also,
I can't wait to see your reaction to what happens with that whole deal. To that storyline.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vic also wants to know why you think Vanessa is so quick to forgive Padge. I mean, this again, the third time she's already like, oh, you love Serena,
because she
but
really loves him. She loves him to a point where it's just she's so forgiving and she's so understanding. And maybe she's like, my best friend, I chose you. You went through this situation over the summer where the baby was yours and then he wasn't yours. And now, and so she just feels for him. And also she has no place to live.
True. So it's like, where's she going to go?
Relationship of convenience.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Benefits.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you would give someone a lot of room for error if they just had their baby ripped from their life. Like, that's pretty freaking traumatic.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A baby he thought was his own. And
Yeah,
that was a really tough situation. That sucks. What do you guys think of Georgina without giving away
fucking
anything?
Georgina.
Oh, Georgina.
I actually love
Yeah.
her. I love to hate her.
Yes. She's a perfect example of a good villain. You love to hate her.
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, her and Jenny are my two favorite characters. Which is why
You like chaos.
That's girl. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. So if you guys had to select your favorite season of the show, do you have a favorite season?
I'm trying to remember what happens.
It's hard because everything kind of blends together.
It really does. I mean, the last season's pretty good, but it's shorter, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's only 10 episodes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because like it kind of wraps things up pretty okay, I mean, there's some things that were better than others, but I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite season.
I do think first season is fun where you do get to see like Chuck and Blair falling in love, Serena and Dan, will they, won't they? Jenny is still kind of cute and innocent at that point.
Is. Mm-hmm.
Eric is not super annoying at that point. Eric like goes in waves of being like super obnoxious and pretty cool.
Yeah. We don't see enough of him really yet.
It's true.
He just kind of shows up and it's just like, oh, hey, I'm here to help further the plot.
Yes.
With just one sentence and then I'm gone for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
It's
kind
true.
of unfortunate for him as an actor to do that,
Is it first season where Nate and Vanessa hook up?
Yes.
Because that's kind of a fun relationship because Nate's just kind of like there and rich and pretty.
Yeah, we actually liked them
that.
together. We shipped them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we thought they were good.
Vanessa kind of has adds a little bit more of the substance to them.
Definitely.
They bring out good parts of each other. So yeah.
But now they're like totally cool and they're friends and it's fine. He brings her and Juliet to this event, Chuck's charity event. I'm like, oh, do you guys used to date? This is not weird at all. And then like he dated Vanessa, Dan's now dating Vanessa, but then Nate dated Serena, and then Dan dated Serena. It's just like
they all just date each other.
Theater kids.
Who would want to insert themselves? Yeah, that's true. Insert themselves into that tangled web.
Definitely not me.
Yeah, no.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Don't want to get involved with that. But
this is like making me want to go back and rewatch the show. Dang it.
I know. It's like you get addicted.
It's true.
Yeah.
But the more you guys were talking about the earlier seasons, the more I'm like, you know what? Actually, I think I do like seasons like 1 and 2 probably the best because it's like classic Gossip Girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Because then later on it just gets even more convoluted and everything. But at the same time, like I still love it all.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Well, we want to thank you guys so much. So much for joining us. This has been so much fun. We thoroughly enjoyed every single minute of it. You guys don't know we had a lot of technical difficulties going on.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
but
did.
It all worked out, and we are just so super glad that you guys came on. We loved hearing your thoughts, and I'm sure our listeners are going to love it as well. So in the middle of this episode is their ad for Cutscenes and Cupcakes. If you guys want to give your handles, we will definitely link it below. But if you guys want to just end with, just plugging your podcast or podcasts, I should say.
Go ahead, Steph.
Yeah. So our podcast is kind of the female view of video game. What's the word? Gosh, I should know this. Video game reviews. That's it. We review video games and rate them in cupcakes. Hence the name Cutscenes and Cupcakes. It's been a lot of fun. We're in we just launched our 4th season, so that's fantastic. Our social media is Cutscenes and Cupcakes on Facebook. What's our Instagram, Marley?
I think it's Cutscenes and Cupcakes.
Cutscenes and Cupcakes on Instagram.
Don't worry, we linked it. We got it all.
Yay!
Twitter is Cutscene Cupcake, and we're also on Twitch. We live stream some of our gameplay.
That's awesome.
We stream 3 times a week.
Wow.
So, if you guys are into video games, we're your girls.
Definitely. Well, thanks so much again, guys. We really appreciate you coming on. This was really a lot of fun. I loved hearing all of your opinions. I loved it.
It was fun to go back and rewatch some Gossip Girl.
Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, Gossip Girl.
Right? I know. Well, we hope you enjoyed Steph and Marley. It was a lot of fun to talk to some fellow podcasters, girls that love Gossip Girl and then grew up watching it. So that was definitely fun for me to reminisce about some of the Gossip Girl things. And I know it's hard for you, Michelle, because you don't exactly know what we're talking about just yet, but you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, but I was just so fun to connect with other people and just people in our space.
Yeah.
And plus how cool, of video games from a female perspective and cupcakes. So you guys should definitely check them out.
Definitely. And I was telling Randy about them. I was like, they did The Last of Us. And he's like, oh, maybe I'll check out that episode. I'm like, there you go. And then you can hear how they rated it in desserts. It's fun.
They were really, really cool girls. Really glad to connect with them.
Relaxed personalities, similar to us. So I felt like they were great guests
at
to have.
home, right? They
were. Definitely. All right, we're going to go into some trivia from the episode. It's based off the movie Touch of Evil. A Cartier watch retails for over $20,000 starting price. Jeez, so it's a hefty watch.
Wow.
Eva is revealed to be 20 in this episode. Clemence Poisey and Christian Coulson, who played Chuck's valet Ivan, aka Tom Riddle, have both appeared in Harry Potter. However, they were not in ever the same scenes together. During a scene near the end of the episode, Dan says to Serena, I saw you talking to Dan, even though the subtitles say, I saw you talking to Nate. the mistake still stands. I keep forgetting to look out for that one every time I've watched it, but if you guys noticed that, let us know. Touch of Eva was watched by 2 million viewers. Chris Rovzar and Jessica Pressler of New York Magazine praised Eva's positive influence on Chuck and Chuck's mature confrontation of Eva's past, but found that the episode has accomplished 2 important things: the dismissal of Eva, who we knew wasn't going to stick around that long, and the reinstatement of the Chuck-Blair tension. The LA Times' Judy Berman, however, had grown weary of Chuck's the philanthropist and preferred the more sinister and womanizing persona of Chuck. Can't say that I agree to that.
Is that just because that's how we know him?
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what we're used to, so
I don't prefer that version of Chuck.
No, I just don't prefer Chuck.
I just don't prefer him in any sense. Mark O. Estes of TV Overmind described the episode as the latest in a string of solid episodes this season. Okay. Chuck's passport lists his real name as Charles Bartholomew Bass. His birthday is January 19th, 1991, and his place of birth is New York, New York. Chuck's passport shows that he was 15 at the time of the issue. American passports are valid for 5 years for a person under the age of 15, but Charles's is valid for 10. Continuity. In the episode, we had music by Sleigh Bells, The National, New York Pony Club, Miss Mercury, 2 Hours Traffic, Francisco the Man. All right. Fashion and headbands. I didn't have any headbands this episode.
I had no headbands.
Okay, good. I didn't miss any. I love Chuck's suspenders in that one scene, though.
Yeah, I liked Padge's chambray button-down shirt that he did not want to change out
As
of.
did I. I did enjoy Blair's floral orange dress with the big black bow. Thought that was very becoming.
Eva's hair was very pretty.
Yeah.
I loved it. Love the color.
Definitely. I loved her white shirt with the floral skirt. I thought that looked really cute.
Serena's dress was gorgeous.
Yeah, I loved that dress. I loved she paired it with that gold eyeshadow. I felt that was a really good pairing together.
What'd you think of her hair, though?
Yeah, that one braid.
At first, I'm like, why do we have a knot chilling at the bottom? Can we please brush? And I was like, oh, no, this is a placement braid.
Yeah, no, I believe Tish said, why did she do that to her hair? It looked so pretty. And then she messed up with that one tasseled, tangled up braid.
Like,
not
weird.
Good. Yeah.
I'm trying to recreate it on Zoom right now for Liz. Like,
it's just like kind of.
Maybe I'll try it next week for.
It's just like a crunchy piece of braid. It doesn't really work. I did like Serena had that big bracelet. It was like a metal bracelet with a crystal in the middle. Yeah, that was really that was cute.
Yeah.
And in the first scene, we see Eva. She kisses Chuck as he's cutting the ribbon, and she's wearing this really cute purple, like, floral dress. She's in a lot of florals, like for fleur, like flower. Just saying.
I mean, it works.
It works. You have anything else?
No, that's all I had.
Okay, so what about some quotes?
Yeah.
I love, it was you, not Susan Lucci, that took my papers.
I had that as well. Spotted one angel selling her halo.
Oh. How can she even see time through all that sparkly?
Once he sold me for a hotel.
Yes. Not the wad of hundies.
Chuck and I are savvy New Yorkers.
And even worse, Humphrey and Dumpty. That one just really killed me.
Needy dogs are the perfect cause.
I love when Blair tells Serena, you were so easy in Paris.
You may lose me to CSI Williamsburg.
Yep. Blair, I've never been so happy for internet porn.
I'll never forgive him, just wanted to save him.
Ugh. I love when Chuck says, what Nate says to Chuck, it's nice to see you nice.
Yeah. And then I just have Ivan, you're fired.
Oh, Ivan. All right, MVP and shittiest. We had a lot of shit. People in the chat thought that they couldn't pick a shittiest this week, but I know who my ultimate shit is. All right, ready for MVP?
Yep.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Eva.
Yay! Forever, Eva, the Beleva.
Eva. We're a Beleva and Eva.
She's the Beleva. Jillian and Jess also picked Eva. Mike picked, no surprise, Sag for their teamwork this episode.
Mike.
You need to go. We need to have a little sesh.
Mike, if you could see our faces right now on Zoom. In fact, I'm sure you can picture them. You know them well at this point.
Exactly.
What? Pat was not a stand-up citizen in this episode.
Right.
No.
Will picked Chuck, actually, for standing up to Blair. And Lisa and Vic both picked Lily.
Yeah, Lily was good.
Because Lily's always good, you know.
Well, as of late.
As of lately.
You know.
As of season 4, Lily's been good.
Yeah.
Can't say for future or past, but as of right now. All right. Shittiest.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Blair.
Padge.
Good
Oh, I
one.
chose Padge because fuck you.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He was a bad boyfriend. Bad boyfriend.
Like, I totally understand Blair because this is just like Blair's MO, but Padge, you literally are just playing with emotions and I don't like that.
Right. Same.
I'm not, and Blair, it's like she plays with emotions, but to me, that's kind of what Blair does. Like, she needs control. She wants to save Chuck. She wants to play that cat and mouse game with Chuck. Sure. But Padge, Vanessa's like, can we do this? And he's like, nope, I choose you. You're it. And he's like, well, never mind, actually. On the side, talking to Serena, saying, I still have feelings for you. Damn, that dress is doing harm and blah, 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 blah. And then goes home to Vanessa because, oh, I chose you. No, you chose her because Serena didn't choose you.
Right.
This has me more fired up than Blair.
I know. I picked Blair just because she fired me up the most, but I totally understand the Dan situation. I totally get that. Jess, Lisa, and Vic and Will all picked Blair, and Mike actually picked Chuck for not believing in Eva, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and going with Blair, that's really hurtful of believing Blair, but I can understand believing Blair over Eva because deep down, it's like, well, I've known this person. Even though we're playing these games, I do know this person does care and love me.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of twisted, but you do know that there's like this weird love there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Think it's time for a Betty of the week.
You're a total Betty. You're a total Betty. You're a total Betty.
So this week, I chose our first ever patron of the week, who was Vivacious Vic, a.k.a. Muse Chick, a.k.a. Vic. We referenced her a ton on all of our shows because she's super active in sending questions, comments. She's been incredibly active in our Discord chat. And last week, she even wrote us a review for this podcast, and we just wanted to shout her out and say thank you so much. It's so incredibly sweet of you to have left us a review on all of our podcasts now. And we love hearing all of your feedback, and we love how much everyone loves each other in the chat, and everyone's getting each other to watch different television shows, and Vic's definitely been a part of that. She's one of the OG Discord chat members, I should say. So we just want to say thank you, Vic, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, Vic.
Okay, Michelle, title for next week and my 3 gossip words. 3 gossip words. Title for next week, 4-5. Goodbye, Columbia.
What?
My 3 gossip words are assistant, transmitted, Parsons.
Okay, so Parsons School of Design. So is Serena transferring to go into design? That's where I think she's going.
Okay.
Okay, so transmitted, I think, and I think, honestly, Juliet and Nate, some diseases happening. Some STDs, transmissions. Transmissions. That's not how it works. Transmitted.
Transmissions.
Yeah. And then assistant. Okay, so, oh man, assistant. What's going on in our world? Okay, is Chuck gonna be super sad and dark again? And so we're gonna repeat all this situation. I feel like he needs an assistant because he just fired his valet.
Okay.
I feel Serena also could go with assistant and going with Parsons. I don't know why I just think Serena's going to Parsons.
Okay.
Or Jenny. But Jenny's up in
She's in Hudson with Allison as of now.
Right. But she could also go to the School of Design. But that
she could come back.
She could come back and do like a couple of courses there. Yeah. Okay, so assistant, I think either Chuck's going to get an assistant, Juliet is going to fake an assistant position. She's going to play the assistant with her and Nate in some sexual favors. Give a section STD transmitted, and I'm just going to stick with Serena going to Parsons. Goodbye, Columbia.
Okay. Awesome predictions.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you to Steph and Marley. You guys were great. If you haven't already done so, please head over to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review and possibly a 5-star rating if you're enjoying the show. And we'd like to share our latest iTunes review with you. Michelle, you can take it away.
Yeah, we're so excited. The title is Love, 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 5 stars from KStev007.
Nice.
They say, Gossip Girl is one of my absolutely favorite shows. Parentheses, it's trash, but I can't help but love it. And I've watched it maybe 9 times. I'm hardcore chair and will die on this hill. Sorry, so sorry. Don't judge me. We'll never judge you.
Never.
I mean, we know where we are. We know where this is chair territory.
Territory, yeah.
They can... Territory. I like that.
Territory.
They continue with, I love listening to these girls while I'm at work. Ladies, your voices are so soothing.
Soothing.
I can't help but laugh because I find my voice not soothing and I feel that it's kind of screeching.
Yeah, same.
Sometimes.
I'm like, I can't imagine people thinking my voice is very soothing.
Yeah, but now reading that, right, I want to continue in my soothing voice, so here I go. And hearing your opinions about the show. I'm the only person who even thinks about it in 2001 that's really into Gossip Girl, so it's great to hear other people's opinions.
You sound like Michael Oppenheimer from Z100. He's like, this is Michael Oppenheimer.
So that was my soothing.
That was your soothing voice.
But in all seriousness, thank you so much for leaving us this review. It means so much to us. And if you haven't yet, please consider doing so.
Yes. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you to KStev, who left us the review. Again, thank you to Marley and Steph. If you're interested in their podcast, all of their links will be in our description below, so go tell them that we sent you. Next week, we will have another guest, but this time it will be a guest patron, our friend Will. Will be on for the second half of next week's episode. Speaking of Will, I have his treat for this week. So in honor of his mom potentially getting a new puppy, these are the Gossip Girl characters as dog breeds. This is just so
if
good.
This is just not a Michelle thing.
I know.
And not to become like self-absorbed and make it about me as per usual. But like this is something I would do. Also, I need Will to do them as noodles from his perspective.
Maybe I will reach out to him and say for the Will treat, can you do them as noodles for next week? We have it live on air. Okay, so we have Dan. Scottish Terrier, snooty, black hair, distinguished. Serena, Golden Retriever. Come on. Nate, Siberian Husky, mobile and majestic. Blair, Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, regal. Chuck, Jack Russell Terrier. Great name, big attitude. Rufus, bearded collie, Shaggy. Lily, a chow chow, at times the most expensive breed. Vanessa, border collie, a smart, understated breed. Jenny, a bull terrier, a bit feisty. Eric, a beagle, a good friend. Eva, Australian shepherd, a kind soul. And Bart, a chihuahua. I love that one. That one gets me.
Wow.
Oh, Bart
Very
is definitely
cool.
a chihuahua.
Bart.
Yeah, right? Thanks, Will. We look forward to speaking with you next week. And that's where we wrap for this part of the episode. Stay tuned. After the credits, we're going to go into After Dark. You know you love us.
XOXO.
Gossip
Girls.
After dark.
All right.
After
dark.
Take your bra off, Liz.
Right? Swinging at me. We're so close. We're so close. Mike said Padge has some pretty good snooping skills in this episode.
How convenient.
Right? How convenient. He's so good at snooping. And he says
was
going
like,
back...
I'm just so good at it.
Oh, he's so good at it. And he says going back to season 2, Michelle had many predicts that Padge was Gossip Girl. So were you actually surprised or did you have a gut feeling?
Okay, so I did not have a gut feeling. Was I surprised? I think I was just shocked.
You even though you predicted it so many times, you still really didn't truly believe it was him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I was also shocked of like, this is the way I found out. Like this.
Yeah,
is the way,
that too.
You know. But yeah, I think, and also it's just shock of the way of like, okay, well, you better explain yourself.
Right? Yeah.
That's all.
Tish said when Serena says Dan was web savvy, this is where she really saw him as Gossip Girl. Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
Lisa in her...
Same.
I'm sorry, go ahead. What are you going to say?
No, just same.
Yeah.
Agreeing.
Lisa in her email, as she's a new watcher, which is funny because she made a good point. She said, so if Gossip Girl had a thread about Juliet, it doesn't make sense for it to be Dan since she's a new character. But she doesn't have any better options this time, maybe Penelope. So it's like funny, why would Dan care about Juliet?
Well, yeah. I mean, I was wondering that too. Like, why does she have a whole thread?
But also
again,
now she's
is it
dating
because
Nate, as we said.
Right. And so it's have to like keep up appearances.
Right.
So, who's this new girl on Nate Archibald's arm? Let's just follow her.
Yeah, I guess that makes more sense. I'm like, now as I'm talking it out with you, I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, right? It just
Angelina
makes sense.
adds, why can't Padge just be a good friend to Nate and tip him off that Juliet is sus? He's not being a good friend. He has this information knowing Juliet is up to something, yet he doesn't tip off Nate that maybe she's no good for him.
Wow.
What
I
an
never even
asshole.
thought of that part of Padge does have this information.
And then I'm thinking, too, in this episode where Dan says to Nate, hey, don't tell Chuck Eva's a prostitute. It's like, were you actually hoping he would tell Chuck or he wouldn't tell Chuck? Because
I think that he wouldn't.
like, you know, to him, I feel like that would just be some good extra tea to put on Gossip Girl, that Eva's a prostitute.
Yeah, no, I think that Padge has become this person of I'm Padge and I'm Gossip Girl and I'm two different people and I don't associate the two together.
Okay, so it doesn't affect his everyday life.
Like two different personas.
Right. I guess that makes sense. Do you have any last remarks as to why he couldn't or could be Gossip Girl in this episode? I mean, obviously the snooping thing is very obvious that
No, just the
he's
whole,
good at that.
like, right, like, oh, you're really good at this. That really tipped me off. In fact, this has nothing to do with Padge or Gossip Girl. It's a point I wanted to bring up in the recap and then with Steph and Marley and then afterwards, and it just never got brought
Okay.
up. So I'm going to bring it up here, but I could not get over when Padge and Serena go for a walk and Serena's wearing fucking heels. He's like, let's go for a walk in the park. And she's wearing...
She's like, all right, I don't need to change my clothes. I'll just keep these heels on.
But you're telling me in your house where he picked you up, you were wearing those heels around the house? You deliberately chose to put those heels on to go for a walk in the park.
Yep. Because it's Serena. She's Serena.
Yeah, but cute tennis shoes would have looked just fine.
It would have looked really cute, yeah. With that, like, skirt. It was like a sequin skirt with the blazer. It would have looked cute with tennis shoes.
An athleisure style.
Yeah.
I had a real big gripe about this.
Oh,
but anyway,
don't
we can
disagree.
move on.
And she's like, she looks great, of course, but
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense for the city. I mean, everyone knows if you're a city goer, you pack your heels and you wear your sneakers. Like, you don't wear your sneaker. You don't wear heels to walk.
Right. No, that's fine. If you're going to the office or going to a party, but they literally went to the park for a walk.
Right. Like, you don't need to look cute in the park. You can just wear sneakers.
That's all. I just want to get it out.
All right. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week, and we will be back with Will for our second half for next week, so we're super excited about that. Catch you on the next one. Thank you so much for listening to 3 Gossip Girls. You can find us on all social media platforms at 3 Gossip Girls Pod or at 3gossipgirlspod@gmail.com.
This has been a Total Betty Media podcast, produced and edited by Michelle Rubenstein and Alyssa Tenio, music by Anthony Vicora.